A creature of habit, the man arrives at the same time every weekday afternoon. He selects the table on the far right at the front of the cafe, perhaps a vantage point of some sort. Most men have eschewed wearing hats these days, but some still honor the practice. The gentleman is one such man, a traditionalist even beyond the fedora. When he removes his hat, he reveals immaculately groomed gray hair. While much about him presents a man in his late 50s or perhaps older, his stature speaks of a confidence from younger, fitter days. The combination draws the eye. Once settled, the gentleman orders coffee. Strong, none of that weak brown water you serve the French. And a pastry. Only if it is fresh, otherwise bring me nothing. When he speaks, it is in impeccable, methodic, and practiced English. If you listen intently and have an ear for these details, you detect slight traces of European intonations. Definitely German, possibly Austrian. As head waiter of Café Marie, Charles Ward has marked the man's daily arrivals since he first stepped foot in the cafe a little over 2 weeks ago. Most often he attends the man, their interactions brief and pointed. Should one of the other waiters attend him, Charles makes a point to observe. A gentleman prone to particularities can pose a challenge. Given his penchant for wearing hats, and the fact that he is distinguished, as older men with money tend to be, and handsome, the gentleman stirs Charles. But it is more than base desire. Something about the man pricks and scratches at Charles, an irritation that can't quite be identified. Then, the woman appears. Preparing coffee service for another table, Charles does not mark her arrival, but he and the entirety of the cafe hears clear and loud when she declares, "This place is a dump." In response to the dark disdain of the woman's voice, Charles cringes. The voice echoes through him. He stiffens as if fingers have seized the base of his neck and throttled him. He shudders at the wave of swift memory that floods through him, an unexpected submersion into the waters of the past. He tries to calm himself with reason. Of course, his body has misunderstood, due to a trick of acoustics and distance. Otherwise, it makes no sense. Still, with rising dread, Charles knows that when he looks, he will not find a trick. He will find her. From the service area, Charles peers out into the open room of the cafe. Indeed, there she sits, stout and hard, and unpleasant as always. Even if he wants to pretend he is mistaken, he cannot. If she is anything, she is unmistakable, hunkering in Charles's memory, implacable as a marked grave. Though her back is to Charles, denial is futile. He knows it is her. How many times had he imagined stepping up behind her, one of her husband's belts wrapped in his fists, taking her by surprise? How could he ever forget her? He couldn't. He can't. He hasn't.